Alright, today we will be going over Iron Fist. And I'm going to go over beginner stuff and maybe some technical stuff later on. But this is mostly catered to people that don't really touch the character or don't know how the character works entirely. So we're going to go over just the main parts of Iron Fist's kit because some people don't understand some of it. So we can go over the basic abilities first. Obviously, his primary, it is I think it's his best part of his kit, and especially with his movement, which we'll go over later. So obviously, he has the auto tracking, right? By the way, this auto tracking does increase when you jump. Basically, like if you're at a diagonal, it has a higher reach. Like right now, I can't track to him. There's no yellow symbol. If I jump, I can. Okay, and so this auto tracking is very important to his mobility because again, when he has no double jumps, when he has no walls to run on, he is basically pedestrian. So again, I'm not touching any key on my keyboard, and I can just travel that short distance. The way his primary works is that it has a combo system. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That fifth hit is a soft CC knockback, and it does extra damage, as you saw. And then obviously you can combo this with your kick, which also does more damage the less health that enemy has. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kick, insta kills. Now obviously that was overkill because probably around 40% health is when they'll die to a kick. So if you're in the air, you can do this. Like that. It is very useful. That is a very useful combo, especially if you're going to dive as support, because obviously Iron Fist has a long TTK for other divers. So as long as they know you're there, they're just going to out-heal it. But if you get the jump on them, it is a pretty quick time to kill. Now obviously his mobility comes in many forms. His double jump can also be used during his combos. And this also allows him to not get hit as easily because he's zipping around everywhere. Now the way you do this is usually, if you're on controller, this kind of plays the same way. But you want to tap your primary instead of holding it. A lot of people hold it, but especially if you're using the normal primary, you want to tap it, because again, by tapping it, you get that farther reach. And then you just hold S or hold back on your controller while pressing it. And this will just send you back, and of course the auto tracking will bring you back to the target no matter what. And you add in your jumps in there, and they can't really hit you. It's a lot harder for them to hit you. Of course, you can move some movement in there.
Look who just showed up. You were always
a lot harder to hit, again, because that's the most important thing about Iron Fist. Make it so it's hard for enemies to hit you. So again, I use my mobility here to keep away from the Spidey as much as I can. That way, he can't really do as much damage as he wants to. If I notice an off-angle DPS, it is my job as Iron Fist to deal with them. Obviously, I'm not going to kill them 100% of the time because a lot of DPS can counter Iron Fist pretty well. But I know that I can keep them off, or at least do enough damage where they don't feel confident in overcommitting to my backline. Now, on that point as well, you have his wall running. His wall running is super important because he goes faster when he's wall running. So if there's any time that you're just running around, you want to use any type of wall to go faster. And what's also important to note about wall running is that it resets your jump charges. When you're in the air after using a jump, your jump charge will not reset. But if you hit the ground, it will. If you wall run, it will, right? So whenever you're using your block, it is very important to understand that they know that your block is your saving grace. They know that after your block is done, you have a 15-second cooldown to when you get your block back, meaning you are a free kill, right? If I block, and I saw that no one shot my block, then I either go for the kill if they're that weak, or if they are not weak, then I better get the hell out of there, right? And the way you can do this is also by using the block as a movement tool, right? And this was more popularized in Season 2, but you can use it with your jumps to go and get high ground, or maybe just get across an obstacle. Another thing about the block is that obviously you can get your block back by doing normal punches. And as you can see, after this runs out, then we can use our normal punches for 10 seconds.
Far from
we're back.
legendary.
The play style that I usually use when playing Iron Fist is trying to make a play in the back line first. Now, a lot of people would usually start with the front line. You can if you want. If you want to, hit the tanks a little bit to distract them, that is completely fine. But the main goal where you want to start off with is using mobility to get to the back line. You are not in a position to get kills at this point. Your duty and your responsibility here is to make the supports or the backline itself use their resources on you. Your block blocks everything in the game, whether it's a Luna snowball, or you can make the Luna use her clap too early. If you don't secure the kill, but you still make them use their resources on your block, then you've already done enough. At this point, they've used their resources on you, and now you can now go back to their tanks and beat them up while the supports have less resources to help their tanks out. Iron Fist's E ability, his meditation, heals him, and if he's full health, will give him bonus health. So, what I like to do is, again, use mobility to get to high ground, and then use your meditation to get to 400 HP, and then engage your target. And again, every kill you get gives you bonus health. So you can keep the ball rolling for a very long time. Now, of course, I'm the one that's in the front, and obviously I don't want to be. I'm a tank. So the immediate thing I do here is try to take height, run around. As you can see, I use my wall run. And now, I'm on the supports right here. They do not know I'm here. This gives me a perfect opportunity to try to get an elim. And I believe I get a kill on this dagger. And now, their supports are dead. Obviously, now that I use my block, I can now do tank busting. Now, I know I'm not going to win a 1v1 with an Elsa, so I kind of just back off, because if I do fight her, I can get back down to her. A lot of thing that happens is that an enemy Iron Fist will want to 1v1 you. In most cases, I don't take the 1v1, because I know at least that I am more beneficial to my team alive and in the fight and looking at any target. So if he's on me, I'm just going to not pay attention to him, and that's going to give more benefit to my team because they have a DPS that's not going to hurt them. He's only hurting me. So I wait for their supports to jump down because they're blocked off away from their tank. So, and I'm actually getting the kill even though I think the dagger threw their bubble a little bit too late. But we get the kill on the Sue. I immediately block, mostly because I suspect a tank to peel.
Far from legendary.
Which they do. But against the guy's back punches, I decided I'm not going to go for that dagger because I only had like about 150 at the time. And again, I know that their vulnerability veil does hurt quite a bit, so I'm going to wait and back off so where my healers can actually see me. I'm going to heal here out in the open, which is kind of a dumb play on my part, but again, I know I have my block in a couple seconds. So even though this Elsa is just bum rushing me to the head, I can block this, which gives me quite a bit of over health. I'm at 423 health, which is quite a bit. So this allows him to tank us pretty easily now. I was able to get 2 kills off. Obviously, they just had a support ult just go off. I noticed that the Sue is at the back end of the support ult, and I know that Cloak and Dagger's ult will fade away starting from the starting point, meaning that if I keep the Sue occupied here for longer, I could kill her, and the Cloak and Dagger ult would not be able to save her because it's fading away. So I immediately go to engage on her, and immediately as I kill her, I know that my job is done, which means I can use my block. While I block, I always tend to look towards my teammates, so that way I get an idea of where I need to be after my block, because the block is about 1.5 seconds long or something like that. I want to use that time to my advantage. So I block, I look quickly to my team, realize that they're okay. I can get the kill on Elsa, and no one's going to really feel for her. And now we have Iron Fist's ult. Now, Iron Fist's ult has downsides, where obviously you don't have your normal basic punches attack anymore. You have the fast punches, but this time the fast punches actually do more damage, and they also pierce. That's why you'll notice in a lot of clips, if there's a bunch of enemies grouped up, an Iron Fist ult can just damage all of them in one go, and it's very devastating. So I use my ults here. Obviously, as I'm looking there is super grouped up, which for any Iron Fist player, ulting is like a golden scar. So what's also cool about the ult is that your block is on a 3-second cooldown instead of 15, meaning you can weave your blocks over and over again, and that's how Iron Fists like to stall points. Because again, the Iron Fist ult also gives him insane mobility. So you tie that with the block, you can basically fly around. When your block's back up, you go down, take a lot of damage, and go back up again. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard to execute, but understanding how the mobility works in his ult is also important, because unlike his normal fast punches, the ult still has the upward mobility that it used to have in Season 2. That's why you can weave the upward mobility back down on your targets, and they can't really do much against that. What people don't also know about Iron Fist is that he really is a CC monster. His quick hit combo, like I said before, does a little knockback. His kick does a little knockback. And his ult primary actually does knockback, but only if you tap your M1. Most people hold it down during his ult, so they don't even know this. But if you ult, tap, it knocks them back, which is super important to group up enemies for a kick. This is a clip where I use that CC of Iron Fist to his advantage, and I noticed the two supports are back here. They're kind of grouped up, so my job is to push them off point. Keep walking back, I'm going to use my punches to do more damage. And then obviously, once I push them back far enough, I can use my kick to delete them. Since Strange died last, I know I can go to spawn, and they're going to portal. But again, go for the CC kick, pushes him back in the spawn, canceling the CC. That goes it for the Iron Fist Masterclass. Now, again, if you have any questions, just DM me, and I can kind of explain more in depth. I'm pretty bad at explaining things, in a video. But I can explain things more in depth, and if you guys want, I can make a follow-up video that kind of goes over his matchups. I do think he has really good matchups that I can explain kind of in depth how they work. But other than that, that's kind of how I'm going to leave it right now. Again, the most important thing about Iron Fist is patience. You have a lot of mobility, use it. Sometimes you're kind of just going to AFK, but that's okay. You don't have to be doing damage all the time. I've had really good games where I've done the least damage on the team, and I've had really good games where I did a fuck ton of damage. Really just depends on the situation and who you're playing against. So that's going to be it for me, but I hope this video encourages you to play the character, because I really do think he is so fun because of his mobility. And
Look who just showed up.
Using his mobility in his actual playstyle is what makes him
You were
good
always
character.
outmatched.
So, thank you very much for watching, and may Sholau bless you.